I don't know how many of you guys have heard of or remember rapper Gilly the Kid. Used to be with Cash Money Records a while back and had a crew called Major Figures out of Philly. He's got a podcast, man. And somebody sent me an episode of this podcast. And on this podcast, the question was, what makes a woman cross the line from just being a fun girl to being an evening girl who sells her favors for paper? In other words, a working girl. And the topic ended up on 30 men in a month. Now, Gilly and the other guys were like, yes, 30 men in a month automatically crosses you over into working girl category. Automatically. But his female guest had another take on that. And her take, even though we expect certain things from women, is alarming to say the least. And goes to show that anything a woman can justify, she will do. And not only do, but embrace. Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff. Now, the truth of the matter is this. We live in a society where we know how women feel about their bodies. We have this body promotion and this anti-body shaming campaign going on with all of these entertainers and celebrities and normal women and women you see at the gym and just women everywhere. Women can do no wrong right now, and they have the right to do whatever they want to do with their bodies. They've always had the right, but now they want to have the right and not be ridiculed. So there's this video, man, of a podcast episode from Gilly the Kid's podcast, man. And he's talking to this chick, typical stripper looking fun girl. The topic came to, is a woman just a normal fun girl, or does she cross over into working girl territory if she has 30 men a month? Of course, the guys were, oh man, not 30? Yeah, she's automatically there. But what the girl said is going to alarm you, man. Or maybe not, considering the society we live in today. But let's take a listen to this video, man. I tried to chop it up, man, and get some clean pieces out of it because, you know, Gilly went ham and the girl was kind of going ham as well, which you'd expect from a girl who would have this response to a woman sleeping with 30 men in 1 month. Literally one different man per day for a month. But let's take a listen to what I was able to chop up, man, and we'll come back and get it in on the real tip.
So you saying a good girl is somebody that live their truths. Okay, on Monday I fuck Ronnie. On Tuesday I fuck Bobby. Hold on. On Wednesday I fuck Mike. Thursday I fuck Johnny.
As long as Mike, Johnny, and Rob know that she fucking all of them, yeah.
That ain't no good girl.
Why not?
The fuck out of here.
How many, the amount of people you have sex with in the span of time makes you a whore?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
What?
Gilly, that's crazy.
Oh, so if you fuck 30 niggas this month.
If that's how you get your money.
I'm not knocking that you get
I mean,
your money.
the only excuse for fucking 30 niggas in a month would be a check.
Okay, hold on.
Acceptable excuse.
Listen to all the women that's fucking.
She's an acceptable excuse.
Acceptable excuse.
Listen.
Now, what you hear is a woman who is open to doing anything she thinks of with no remorse, no need to make any excuses, totally accepting of any type of activity from any woman. And the only woman who would be that way is either a feminist or a woman who is engaged in that type of activity and has just embraced the fact that that is who she is and that is the quality of woman she is. When you hear a woman say, it's okay for a woman to sleep with 30 different men in a month as long as her bills are paid. In essence, what she's saying is perfectly okay for a woman to be a working girl and not be called a working girl. See, the problem isn't that she's okay with it. A woman can be okay with whatever she wants to be okay with. But when you take that type of behavior of a whore and say that is not the behavior of a whore, then what kind of society do we live in? That means a guy who kisses another guy isn't gay. That means a guy who kills and robs people for a living is not a jacker. That means a guy who throws a football to the other players on the team and says down said hike is not a quarterback. Everyone else in society is defined by their actions. But here you have a woman proving once again that women do not want to be defined by their actions. They want to be defined by what they think they are, by what they want to be, by how they define themselves, oblivious to their actions. But if you're broke, a woman ain't gonna say you paid. If you fat, a woman ain't gonna say you fit. If you ugly, a woman ain't gonna say you handsome. If you short, a woman ain't gonna say you tall. But if a woman does these type of activities, she wants them to be embraced as normal activity. Well, guess what? They aren't normal activity. And the fact that there are men out here who will still marry this woman, who probably is being with 30 men a month, if not close to it. But there's a man out here who will let her say, I'm done with those days. I am done putting miles on my body that way. Now I am whole again. I am a born again virgin. I am a woman who is cleansed of my sins. Well, let me ask you this. Why does a woman need to be a born again virgin unless she wants the previous version of herself to die? Because deep down inside, a woman knows when she does these activities that they represent a certain type of woman, a certain type of energy, a certain type of outlook on yourself. Regardless of what other people think, we're talking about a certain type of outlook on yourself. And I say this to you. If this is going to be your outlook on yourself, that doesn't mean anyone else has to embrace it and act as if we're totally oblivious to the facts. And the fact is, if a woman is willing to sleep with 30 men in 30 days, who's to say she hadn't slept with 60 men in 60 days, 180 men in 180 days, 365 men in a year? And I don't care who you are and what you say. If you slept with 365 men in a year, shawty, you are a hizzo. And that's the bottom line. No one can say anything else. You can't fix that. The same way you can't fix sleeping with 30 men in a month and saying it doesn't make her hizzo as long as her bills are paid. That could be anything. What if her bills are already paid up for the year? What if she's a ghetto girl and her bills are very low? They don't even count. Whatever rent is $5. You see, the problem is we live in a society where not just women are accepting this, but men are accepting this. Men are okay with the woman saying, it doesn't matter how many men I sleep with. I'm still a wholesome, good girl. You should still marry me. And I tell you like soul to soul, don't be a fool. Don't throw your life away. Don't be a fool. Don't throw your mind away. Don't do it to yourself, homies. But be aware that the women around you probably support this same idea. And it's not that they all want to sleep with 30 men in a month. It may be that they want to sleep with 5 men in a week, 3 men in a day, 15 men in a month, and still be considered by you and me as wifey type. No wifey type of mind, no matter how fine, is basing a whole life on a bump and grind. And for me and my guys, we view that the same way. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.